Here we go. It's doing it already. Okay, so see, we're failing. Stop completely. Now it's trying to get over, and the police station's right behind us. What's going to happen? Please don't pull us over. We look drunk. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And of course, thanks for subscribing. Truly appreciate it. Back at it with another FSD Beta version 11.3.1. Just going to take more of a city streets type of drive and see how it fares. Pretty overcast day. Might get a little bit of light showers. We'll be able to see what it does, what its tolerance is for some light weather, and go from there. Pretty interesting intersection. Definitely gets squirrely here before. I've been down here before. Has an opportunity to get over. Was going to take that one. I was not comfortable with that, and that's okay. Going to use my own discretion. I'll use my discretion on this one and take it. It's not a great start. Definitely waited to the last minute for that one. Didn't want to chance it, and that's okay. Take over early and often as needed to your own level of comfort. It'll get there. This version is still really, really good, despite me taking over. And again, the decision making and the timing of the decision making is its Achilles heel right now, right? What decisions it chooses to make and when it chooses to make them or not make them, right, is really what it comes down to. I'll bump up to 40 just to get there. In this particular use case, I'm driving to a supercharger, and we'll just use as an example of, hey, how can this car find me the nearest supercharger from there? Pop back out here. Still super smooth, still really good on lane changes, still really good on the highway. Highway is actually better than Navigate and Autopilot has been before. It's really, really good in the use case that we've seen, some of the videos that we posted and some of the travels that we didn't record. Been really, really solid. City streets is where obviously the biggest concentration of effort has been for FSD Beta portion of Autopilot for some time now. And that's where it stands, I think, to have the most room for improvement, specifically in scenarios like that intersection, needed to make a left turn quickly, kind of waited to the last minute. I don't know if that person would have responded to braking if it decided to jump out there. I don't know if it would have jumped out there and stopped. I don't know, but it didn't give me a lot of confidence that it knew how to handle that one. Bump up to 45 here as the limit changes. Right now I have it set to the limit. I don't have an offset, so I can manually adjust. That's my recommendation to you if you're new to FSD Beta. Use the speed limit and then adjust as needed based on the traffic conditions and based on your preference. This person's over the line. FSD Beta driving better than the human. Look at that. Awesome. Awesome. Big pothole. Definitely should have avoided that. I probably should have took over. There's a couple of them like that. Hopefully it can sort of maneuver around them. That wasn't terrible, but it was still deep. Lane starting to funnel here. Kind of tight. Let's see what happens. Hopefully now, without the sun blasting, you guys can see a little bit better with the visualization here. It has gotten dimmer to create more contrast, and as a result, with the screen on the Model S and the glass covering, becomes really hard to see on camera as well as you can see it in person. And even in person, it's gotten a little bit dimmer, but it definitely doesn't translate well to camera the way that the LCD screen of the old legacy Model S and X would have. Would love if they can make this effectively white, like the daytime version of the Model 3 and Model Y for day, or have the option to turn it white, day mode, if you will, light mode. Can't see behind the bus, and then it saw the confirmation. So it kind of hesitated for a bit because it couldn't see the light behind the bus. And so waited till the bus traveled further enough, got a good visual of the light, and then proceeded. I'm not mad at that maneuver. Not mad at all. A little squirrely in the lanes here. It's going over for this traffic. I'm going to disengage here. That was an accidental disengagement. Just because it was going over the lane, I tried to grab the yoke, and that's how temperamental the yoke can be. Maybe I had a hard time seeing the lane lines. Maybe I got confused by so much traffic and thought that a car was potentially coming out. I noticed that that's kind of one of the other flaws of this version, and all versions, a little bit of preemptive braking. I'm not even gonna call it phantom braking, just preemptive braking. Is that in certain instances, it tries to be a little bit too predictive to what other cars are going to do, especially when you have people who are coming out of a driveway or an intersection pretty aggressively. It kind of anticipates, hey, what is this person going to do? Even right now, it's slowing down tremendously. I got to give it a little bit of acceleration for it to go because it didn't have the confidence. So it kind of looks at all these different cars right now, and this is sort of end of day rush hour, or middle of day, or end of day on an early day for like a Friday rush hour, and it's starting to anticipate a little bit too much what other cars are going to do and reacting to them by braking prematurely and not accelerating as confidently as I would expect. And maybe it's this bus that's throwing it off, because it really should be going, and it's giving this bus a lot of leeway right now, and I'm not sure why. So we have about 20 minutes on here, yellow light. Let's see if it comes to the stop or tries to run it. Bus is gonna run it, and the red light. Bad job, bus. Good job, FSD Beta. Hope no kids were on that bus. But we've got about a 20-minute drive. I'll try to fast forward past the boring parts. Won't talk as much just so we can get there quicker. And again, this is country roads, suburban area. Nothing crazy, but there's some salt on the ground. Lane lines are partially visible, not as visible as they should be. And yeah, traffic is pretty moderate right now, just based off of the early, see how it anticipates what this truck is going to do versus just going, which is okay in certain instances, but other instances, not so much. Starting to rain a little bit more. Let's see what that threshold is for the rain tolerance before it kicks me out. Some debris coming off the back of this tree truck. I'll try to intervene if a big enough piece comes out, and maybe just get around this truck altogether if possible. That'd be great. Interesting. It sees the truck is turning. It's trying to position itself to go around, but not actually go around. We have the clearance to do so, but it's not taking that maneuver just yet, which again, I'm fine with. Up here, lanes get a little bit tight here, and then there's a merge of the lanes up here, so good job handling that. Good job merging and not getting fishy. The merges on this are way better for when the lane is wide and goes into one from two, or whatever the case may be. It just really stays composed in scenarios like that where it was usually just freaking out. Blue lights are indicated as the controlling light for the car. Rain is starting to come down a little bit heavier. Let's see what happens. Okay, now it's doing the weird behavior of spraying all the windshield wiper fluid as opposed to just one wipe, so that's not cool. And we're going to merge again up here. And we're here. So that's one thing they could work on. One spray is good enough if it feels it needs spray, but I feel like in this instance it's clear that it's raining, so it could just wipe the windshield wiper with a regular wipe, and that'll clear the water out of the way, as opposed to spraying so much windshield wiper fluid. Playground, children are always crossing here, slowing down in anticipation, which I can appreciate with kids, so good job there. Not necessarily a phantom brake, but just a perceptive slowdown. Let me go ahead and pop on the auto wipers just to help the situation a little here. I'll bump up to 40. Again, just making manual adjustments because I don't have the speed offset set on this profile just yet. And I prefer to start off driving at the limit, and then I can bump up as needed. Good job taking this winding turn. Not having to decelerate at all, which is great. I mean, we're in the Plaid S, so it's good to feel. Now, I believe, my memory serves me correctly, coming up, there's going to be a mound of salt that got dumped on the ground. I may want to take over for that. Indecisive, but it course corrected, and not in a disruptive way. Good, brake, and now goes. Good job. It sometimes thinks with its signals, which is kind of funny. You'll see the path planner go in a certain direction, and immediately it'll put on the blinker. I kind of feel like there needs to be a little bit of a delay between the path planner trying to make up its mind and it actually putting on the turn signal, so as to not confuse people. If it think it needed to go left, let the path planner show that for a second. Then, okay, wait, I want to go back right. Okay, do that, and now commit to the turn signal then, as opposed to doing it as soon as it thinks about it. I thought that would have been a better course of action. So far, so good. Nag is still there, as you see, it popping up at a better interval than before, not as frequent. I am looking around a little bit. It's not freaking out, which I can truly appreciate. I know Elon talked about getting rid of the nag, especially if your eyes are on the road, maybe saying, hey, no wheel nag if your eyes are on the road. If your eyes are not on the road, then you need the wheel nag. Okay, coming into some pretty interesting turns here. Let's see how it takes it. Slows down nicely, beautifully on these winding roads. Here goes the mound of salt. Maybe I don't need to take over anymore. Okay. Here's where it gets a little bit dicey. Blind corners, let's see what happens. This is where it usually goes wide. Let's see what happens. Good job. The mass of the car starts to pull it. Let's see what happens. Good job. Oh, good job slowing down. Oh, good job slowing down. So the mass does not pull it around the corner like it used to and go over the line or get close to the line. Great job with this one. Navigating these winding roads better than some humans. Excellent. Look at this, beautiful, beautiful cornering. Nice control, nice poise. Another blind turn and a light. So a light's coming up, it's blind, you don't know what's coming. Let's see how it takes it, how much it slows down. Excellent job slowing down, excellent. Superhuman-like right there. Very human-like, not superhuman, but very human-like. Very much so. keep it at 25. We're in an area where kids are typically. A little bit of phantom braking. I think that's legit phantom braking. But kids are here. There's a theater here for kids. And I'll keep it at 25. And then we're going down towards the town center, which again, kids are just getting out of school around this time. So definitely want to keep it at 25. Now, we've done this path before. And in this particular intersection, what winds up happening is the car gets a little bit confused. I'm anticipating that being the case again, but let's see if there's any advantages to 11.3, any enhancements in this area where it needs to go up and it needs to make that left. And sometimes the traffic is backed up here, so it kind of has to maneuver in a way that can get it in the lane but not block the traffic. Let's see. Sweet. Piece of cake. Right. Okay, so here's the other problem area where we go over this underpass and we have to get into this right lane now. And here we go again. This is the fatal flaw for FSD. It waits too long to make the decision it needs to make. In this instance, no one was behind us, so we had a chance to do it without any incident. But if someone was behind us, we'd have a hard time getting into this lane. And this is a sharp turn. Please make it wide. Very good. Very good. The turns have gotten significantly better here in this particular version as well. It sees the car coming out. Look at that. Anticipated. Superhuman. That's what we need to see. Superhuman there. It saw the car. I saw the car, but it also saw the car behind the truck and reacted. Great so far. Now, here's where the part where FSD breaks down all the time. And I can kind of feel it breaking down right now. Straight ahead, it has to make a left turn, but stay in this left side of the lane. It typically goes to the right side of the lane. Excuse me, has to be on the right side of the lane. It typically goes to the left side of the lane, and then it gets weird. Here we go. It's doing it already. Okay, so see, we're failing. Stop completely. Now it's trying to get over, and the police station's right behind us. What's going to happen? Please don't pull us over. We look drunk. All right. So that's not the greatest. I need to flag that every time. Good job yielding. It's just a yield. Oh, it is a stop now. They changed it. Good job, car. And now we're proceeding. No one's behind us. So we're getting pretty lucky here. But yeah, that was a bad maneuver. We need something better there. We need to do better in handling those scenarios where it needs to be in that lane. That bird's eye view would help. The new path planner also helps because you can see what lane you need to be in. I'll keep the limit here. Police are out here. Children are getting out of school. Stay right at the limit. I don't need any problems. So I can say, hey, sorry, officer, FSD Beta did it, not me. I would never do that. I'd take full responsibility because this is my car. But after that, I would send a copy of my ticket to Mr. Musk and team, and hopefully they can help me out. Okay, going around this car for some odd reason, I'm going to stop this because this is not really what it should be doing. I know it could handle that, but it's not really two lanes. And I don't want it to get into a situation where we get stuck behind this car right here when we can easily avoid that. And that just plays to some of the problems with this build. And that being that it just, again, makes those decisions too late. I'll resume here. Once we get in the lane lines, there we go. Nice and smooth, lots of congestion, lots of visualization here as well. You guys can see that. Hopefully now with less sunlight blasting. Almost at the Supercharger. There are a couple of potholes I may need to avoid, but for the most part, I'm going to let it do its thing. Get in the right lane now. Okay, wait. Yeah, way to aim for the pothole, car. A little bit indecisive. Turn signals on now, which is great. Let's hope it can take that turn nicely. I often feel like there's a little bit of a conflict between the navigation data and where the FSD Beta code is trying to tell the car to go. Right? So it needs to make this right turn, and it needs to be in either one of these lanes. Navigation is calling for it to be in the leftmost lane, which is why I kind of got hesitant. Navigation here is also saying be in the leftmost lane, but the car itself is now in the rightmost lane, trying to make the same turn. So what's going to happen is it's going to make the turn, then it's going to need to change lanes to get over. It had the opportunity to make a choice. It chose this lane as opposed to that. I wonder why. Again, navigation data says be in the left lane. Car decided to go to the right lane. They're both turning, but in order to get to the supercharger, we have to make the right here and then a left and be in that left lane. So let's see what's going to happen here. Hesitates a lot. Oh, potholes. Oh, potholes. Now it's going to hurry up and get over at some point. Okay, gets over good. And then we have a light at an intersection and a turn to make, which is going to call on its timing and its decision making. Let's see what happens. Turn signal on now. Lots of cars are coming. What are we going to do? Just going to wait. I'm going to have my foot extra careful over the brake. Could have went now. Decided not to. Okay, decided not to. Okay, see that? It's playing chicken. I don't like that. Oh, no, don't do that. Okay, I see what's that. It's lurching. It's lurching forward like it intends to do something. And with the Plaid, that's not good. That's not a good opportunity. Not a good opportunity. I don't like this. This feels human-like in a bad way. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Okay, see that? And then it just like, it changed its mind. All right, so that was terrible. Flag that. Flag it. Terrible, we missed everything. So yeah, it gave a lot of attempts to try to make the turn, and then it gave up and decided to go a whole nother way. So I don't know about that one, but we'll call it here. I'm going to get to the supercharger when I can, but yeah, we'll call it a day here. So FSD Beta version 11.3.1. Dare I might say this might be the best version of FSD Beta to date in terms of the level of comfort and in terms of the confidence, conditional confidence that is. It still needs lots of work, of course, lots of fine tuning, lots of refinement. But if this becomes the baseline, we're in store for some good things in the future. All right. Let me know what you thought in the comments. I did what you guys always ask me to do. I waited. I let it do its thing as much as possible. And ultimately it failed us on this last turn to get in, even with it lurching forward like that. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about this drive? What do you think about the build? If you have it, what do you think? If you have a similar experience like this, let me know in the comments. And until the next time, enjoy your day. Enjoy your Tesla.